Today's lesson is lesson 13, and it's Sweden. Today we crossed the Baltic Sea from Latvia to Sweden. If you could choose, would you fly or take a ferry across? The ferry ride from Riga to Stockholm is about 17 hours long, while a plane ride will get you there from one to the other in just over an hour, non-stop. Would you prefer the speed of a plane ride or the scenic adventure of the Baltic Sea? If you choose the ferry, don't forget to bring some of those delicious Latvian pickles and dark rye bread for a snack on the ride. Some of the quick facts of Sweden are it's 10.6 million people. The government type is constitutional monarchy. The size of the country is 173,862 miles. The capital city is Stockholm. The official language is Swedish or Sami. The landmark is the Ice Hotel in Yukajivari. Sweden has many unique features. The capital of Sweden, Stockholm, has been called the Venice of the North because it has 12 islands and 42 bridges as a part of the city. While you are visiting Sweden, you are sure to see many McDonald's restaurants, as there are 227 throughout the country. Only the U.S. has more McDonald's restaurants per capita than Sweden worldwide. A must-see stop is the Ericsson Globe, the largest spherical building in the world. It stands 279 feet tall and has a diameter of 328 feet. This building holds the largest scale model of a solar system in the world. Another stop, Uppsala University, is where you can find a famous 4th century Bible that is considered by some to be the most valuable book in the world. It is the partial version of the New Testament that was written on parchment with silver and gold ink. Invention attention. Sweden is the most famous for several worldwide phenomena. Not only is Sweden the birthplace of Ikea and cultural music icons ABBA, but if you've ever known someone that was helped or saved in a car accident by the 3-point shoulder lap seatbelt, you have the Swedes to thank. Swedish inventors are also responsible for the pacemaker and ultrasound technology. They pioneered the refrigerator, the computer mouse, the marine propeller, and even safety matches. Land and animal. Sweden is part of what is called Scandinavian. Scandinavia includes Denmark, Norway, Sweden, Iceland, and Finland. It is a beautiful country that has many mountains, forests, and plains. The northern part of Sweden is within the Arctic Circle and is full of snow-covered mountains and thick forest. Below the Arctic Circle, there are lower mountains, but the thick forests continue with many lakes and rivers running through them. The southern part of the country is covered in plains that are largely cultivated with farmland. The moose is an extremely common animal in Sweden. These magnificent creatures are the largest member of the deer family, standing up to 6.5 feet tall and weighing up to 1,102 pounds. They are considered the most dangerous animals in Sweden, causing about 6,000 vehicle accidents every year. In the summer, the moose population is over 300,000, but moose hunting in the autumn helps to keep the population in check. Over 1,000 moose are harvested every fall to fill Swedish freezers. Moose are found throughout most of Sweden, but prefer to live in the forest areas. Their diet consists entirely of vegetation, and they eat large amounts of aquatic vegetables, as well as browsing on young trees in the forest. Want to know more about the moose in Sweden? Partly due to their large size, their unique diet needs, and their history of attacking humans, these animals are rarely kept as domesticated animals or in places like zoos. But Sweden is unique is unique because it has many moose parks, similar to a safari park in Africa, where you can interact with moose in an up-close and personal way. As an activity break, look up Swedish moose parks. If you could visit a moose park and encounter a moose that close, would you do it? Food. If you think about Swedish food, what comes to mind? Anything? There is a popular Swedish furniture store that has made Swedish meatballs very well known around the world. In fact, it serves an average of 1,836,000 meatballs every day at their stores worldwide. Maybe you've eaten at a smorgasbord restaurant where you could pick and choose what you want. The word smorgasbord is a Swedish one, and the concept started when villagers gathered together for a communal feast to celebrate the harvest. Some of Swedish food is not as appealing as meatballs and potluck-style feasts. One of the most famous Swedish dishes is fermented herring. This fish is packaged in flat tins and allowed to ferment for 4 to 10 weeks. The tins blow up into a ball shape, and when they are sufficiently fermented, they are open, preferably outside, so that the odor doesn't linger in the house. When water surrounding much of Sweden, it is no surprise that seafood takes a prominent role. Herring fillets are not only served fermented, but also pickled or cooked. Salmon is another common seafood, as well as shrimp and caviar. The next thing is the famous landmark. Yukajivari, Sweden, is a home to the world's first ice hotel. It was originally built in 1989 and designed by Y. Bergqvist. This unique winter wonderland has been rebuilt every year in a new and beautiful way. This is really neat. The seasonal ice hotel is open from December until April of each year and contains 15 suites and 20 rooms, a main hall and a ceremony hall. These rooms are newly constructed each year and melt in the spring, returning to the river. There are several ways to experience the ice hotel. You can book a stay in one of these unique rooms or just take a tour of the hotel during the day. Alternately, you could stay in Ice Hotel 365, a permanent ice hotel that is cooled by solar panels during the summer months. And I'm sure you can probably look that up, the Ice Hotel 365, on YouTube and maybe get some real neat pictures. Transportation. With all of the things Sweden has invented, it comes as no surprise that they're innovative in their modes of transportation, public transportation. Like most European nations, Sweden has high-speed trains, local buses, and taxis available to get you where you need to go as quickly as possible. They also boast a convenient rideshare taxi option. An innovative company in Sweden has developed a system where a person can use more than one transportation, plan a trip, and pay for it all together. This greatly reduced the stress of changing between modes of transportation within Sweden. Want to know more about the efficient travel in Sweden? The company mentioned above has made it possible to plan a multi-transportation route and pay for it all at once, with all of the schedules and fees visible in one place. For example, you could book a rideshare taxi from your home to a train station, then a high-speed train to a bus stop, and then get on the bus to your final destination. Then you could plan a return trip from your final destination with a bus ride and a conventional taxi ride all the way home. Research which Swedish company provides this service and check out all the places you could travel to stress-free. History and culture. As we've seen, Sweden has a long history of doing things in new and innovative ways. It is hard to continuously adapt to challenges, even while remaining a continuous sovereign state for more than 1,000 years. There's a strong sense of nationalism and pride in being Swedish, and for many years the nationalism created an extremely consistent society. In recent decades, Sweden has become well known for being a warm and wonderful place for immigrants and refugees. From the late 1940s until the late 1960s, Sweden has a strong economy that has attracted many immigrants from all over Europe. They made immigration for these people as easy as possible, creating the more varied society that we see today. Sweden has taken in more refugees than any other wealthy nation in recent decades. Political refugees from the former Yugoslavia, Hungary, Vietnam, Kurdistan, and even Chile have made Sweden their home. These refugees have been welcomed into the Swedish society with open arms and full access to the welfare system, voting privileges, and the ability to become a citizen in 5 years. These changes in recent decades have made Sweden's culture more and more diverse every year. And that concludes our Lesson 13 for today.